This is Mark, and I'm going to talk about how I'm integrating AI into my code playbacks. So I've been wondering about the role of AI for people learning to code for a while now. AI assistants are great for helping an experienced programmer write code faster. However, before you really know what you're doing, I believe that all beginners should have some friction when writing code. Now, an important tool for learners is to hear how more experienced developers approach problems with code. I created code playback so that one can guide others through code examples. Each code playback is a recreation of a coding session with a narrative that is added by the author. The narrative includes important milestones in the development of the code. This is where the author adds a description of the code in a comment. A comment can include text descriptions, hand-drawn pictures, videos, multiple choice questions, and more to help the reader understand what's happening in the code. If you're not familiar with code playbacks, let me walk you through one. So the previous one I just showed is a traditional code playback. This one is on an experimental branch that includes some new AI features. So this is a bare bones implementation of a linked list. A reader can watch all the code being played back keystroke by keystroke. The playback pauses when there's a comment. Every comment has some highlighted text to show the reader what they should be looking at. Clicking comments shows the highlighted code. Now, another way to navigate through them is to simply click on the comments and skip the character-by-character playback. And this is actually my preferred way of moving through one. Now, up until now, a reader could only hear the author-supplied narrative. And I found that learners really like these, but sometimes I wonder about things that perhaps I didn't cover, or learners that are a little behind others. I wish there was a way for learners to interact with the code playbacks. So I've added a feature that allows a reader to ask an AI about some code in a playback. I send the code at the comment point and a prompt from the reader to an AI and let it respond. I think this will really be an effective way for learners to fill any missing gaps in a playback. So for example, I might get to this point in the playback and wonder about the node pointer in the node structure. I can ask a question like this. It looks like the node struct has a reference to a node. In a couple of sentences, explain how this can be. I can also follow up with another question. So a node pointer is different than a node? A reader can move on and only ask a question when they need to. So for example, here on the last comment, I might ask, I'm confused about when and where a destructor is called. In a couple of sentences, explain this for me. And we can see the output. Now this is not the only place one can use AI. Authors of code playbacks can also use the AI to help them generate comments. So here is the UI for an author to add a comment. And I'm just going to ask it to briefly explain why this class is in one file while most other classes are split into two. And we can see the AI-generated response fills the comment box. Okay, so this is a new feature that I'm working on. I haven't integrated it with Playback Press yet. I'd love any feedback or any feature ideas anyone has about using AI in code playbacks.